I give the floor to the representative of Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I thank the briefers for their remarks. Mr. Chair, it has been 3 years since the war in Ukraine broke out, and yet the situation on the ground remains deeply concerning in both parts of the Ukrainian-Russian borders. We have consistently condemned the killing of civilians and the destruction of civilian infrastructure, including critical energy facilities, and called both parties to uphold their commitments and the international law, including the international humanitarian law, and to prioritize the protection of civilians. Under the customary international humanitarian law, prisoners of war must be allowed protection and all rights. In this regard, it is critical for both parties to strictly abide by the obligations under the Geneva Conventions, especially the Third Geneva Convention, as well as other relevant treaties. Under this legal framework, prisoners of war must at all times be humanely treated and be entitled to respect for their persons and their honor. Women shall be treated with all the regard due to their status. In the meantime, the role of relevant international actors remain critical and should be unhindered. Moreover, it is vital to encourage and increase the exchange of prisoners of war between the parties to alleviate the prisoners' suffering and reunite them with their families and loved ones. In this vein, the efforts undertaken to facilitate the swap of hundreds of prisoners of war, which resulted in the liberation of thousands of prisoners from Ukraine and Russia, are commendable and should be strengthened. These deals should inspire both parties to favor dialogue and negotiations in order to reach a just and lasting solution in line with the purposes and principles of the UN Charter and taking into account their security concerns. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for their statement.